Hello, Aries. Thank you so much for being here, you guys. All right, Aries, it's not bad because, and like I know I've seen this before for you, but it has the same type of energy, but it may have been like different, but I know I've seen growth before. So, anyway, this week from Lay Vampire, jealousy, envy, punishment, and changing course, but from Chakra Wisdom, you pull growth, which is perfect. It's exactly the response you should have to this. Now, jealousy is very specifically about people being jealous of you and trying to punish you because you have things that are going good for you right now. It's basically saying that you don't have to accept what people say about you, that you are beyond their judgment and that their words are false. I don't ever understand that. I look at things like that, and if somebody has, a lot more than what I do, I naturally go to this place of, that's great. Like, I feel happy for them because that's exactly what I would want for me, But unfortunately, we deal with people sometimes who would rather punish you because they're jealous of what you have. But like I said, with growth, it's like the perfect response to this. It's really about you breaking away from that kind of crap and looking at what you have outgrown, taking a stand for yourself and living your truth. Now, the card at a glance says that this card implies personal commitment and following one's heart. It's about honoring your growth and the growth of others. There is a sense of courage and abundance and an ability to stand tall. This is a time to uphold what your heart knows is true. And the truth is, all right, Aries, here we go. Here's your overall for the week. Ugh. What the fuck? I always get thrown off when I see the Five of Cups show up for you guys. Now, with this being the overall, it's really about dealing with difficult emotions and needing to get past that because, again, the message has always been that you still have the two, right? But right now, possibly dealing with some difficult emotions. And the thing with Aries is you guys don't like to stay there very long. Oh, okay. Now, in the past, the Nine of Wands. When it comes to Aries, when you're talking about difficult emotions, it's one of those things where you don't need to have it continuously brought up. I feel like for you guys, I'm done with it, I'm on to the next. But I feel like with the Nine of Wands as the past coming through, that this may be being brought back up for you, and you're still carrying this feeling of not letting it in and still ready to fight, even though you've been through hell already. But some of you may be feeling some stuff right now and trying to deal with that, and hopefully we're getting past this. In the present, the Queen of Swords. So, again, when it comes to court cards, right, you could definitely have a person around you, but with the energy there with the Queen of Swords, some of you are being cold and shut off and being straight to the point. You're not wanting to deal with any emotions right now, not wanting to deal with any emotional bullshit and ready to fight it off. With the Nine of Wands and the Queen of Swords, absolutely. But, again, air, Aquarius, Libra, Gemini, possibly for some of you. Or you may be dealing with a person who, is like persistently bringing up things that you don't want to deal with. Or you're dealing with a person who is like having difficult emotions, but I see this more as what you're dealing with right now, possibly because of a person. And I don't think that you're wanting to let them in or let the emotions surrounding them in. Because I see this more so as you being like, no. Future conditions, the Three of Pentacles. Now, if we're talking about you looking at, the two cups that are still there, with the Three of Pentacles being in future conditions, you could definitely be talking about working with somebody, trying to put forth the effort here and working to get to a place where this is no longer an issue. But I don't know, because I still see you coming in as like, no, I'm not going to let this in. I'm not letting you in. I don't want to deal with this. And it may be that you're putting your focus somewhere else. When I see the Three of Pentacles, I think of, somebody who needs to do the right thing for them. Because when we're talking about, this, even with work, it's like being recognized for what you're doing, but you wouldn't be recognized if you weren't doing the right thing. But what is the right thing for you? You know, if you're dealing with a person and having emotions surrounding this and not wanting to let it in, you know. But I'm waiting to see what's happening here. Oh, shit. Aries, what's happening? Your best path to follow, the Lovers. Now, that is in total contradiction to what you're looking at right now in the present moment. And then you have Gemini going on. So, as far as the Lovers is your best path to follow, it could definitely be saying that you need to come from a place where you have love in your heart, right? You also need to be looking at the major choices that you're making as far as a relationship might go. You know, I mean, but I look at this and I think, you know, we need to get past this now. You know, especially if you have somebody who's willing to work with you. But I don't like that this is the overall on this, you know, because to me I see hurt emotions, but then I also see disappointment. But I don't know, with the Lovers being the best path to follow, I always think this is significant. This is significant for some of you, but maybe it's just simply that you need to come from a place where, you know, there's a little bit more love and understanding. But that can be difficult, especially if we're talking about people who are being assholes, with jealousy being there. But, like, really? I don't know, that's hard for me, bridging the gap between this. Oh, wow. In your environment, yeah. So we're definitely talking about an air sign for some of you. And here's the thing. When I see court cards show up in a reading and they're the same suit, you know, I look at, first of all, that suit and what it represents. But, you know, most of the time it's like a good match, right? But when you're looking at these two, it's difficult at best. Because you're talking about the single divorced woman who is that way because her partner was emotionally unavailable. You know, and for some of you, you may be cut off, like cutting them off, or feeling cut off, but being cold and distant because of the emotional detachment here, possibly with this King of Swords. You know, but again, right, like thinking clearly, thinking logically, but I'm seeing a difficult, like, love situation for some of you with somebody who you may not, like, see eye to eye with. You know, it's like looking at the Two of Cups in reverse, but yet you're being asked to come from a place of, like, love and understanding. You know, and I'm still looking at the two here. And it may be that there needs to be a little bit more effort, but I don't know. Because of the Queen of Swords and looking at the Nine of Wands, are you really doing it, though? Are you really wanting to put in any more effort? You know, maybe that's where the major choice is coming in, especially if you're disappointed with somebody. Because I still see you being put through it here, but not ready to, like, give up the fight and not wanting to let somebody in, though, either. You know, being let down by somebody. Your hopes and your fears, the Ten of Swords. Now, what I feel like immediately with this is that I don't think that some of you are wanting to have something end. But on the other hand, if you're looking to end a situation, it may be that, you know, you're worried about how painful it's going to be, not just for you, but for the other person. But, like, you know, I look at the Ten of Swords and think it's definitely an ending, but why does it have to be so painful? Why does it have to be so difficult? You know, and again, I kind of go back to, like, this major choice you may have to make in terms of a relationship. Now, and I feel like that more so because we're looking at the Lovers and we're looking at the same suit in terms of the court cards, okay? You know, when the Two of Cups shows up, I usually say that, you know, it doesn't have to be romantic, but we're looking at the Lovers here. You know, and maybe some of you are wanting to end a situation, but not wanting to deal with the pain that's surrounding it, you know? But, oof, man, that's rough. But yet you're still being asked to kind of, like, look at the relationship here with the Lovers. But again, right, a choice needs to be made on this. Do you work with this person, or do you continue to be put in this position where you're being let down by them? Whew. And then the sun coming out. And I feel more so that this is just everything being, put out on the table now. Everything is being brought under the light of day. We're not hiding anything. And as far as Aries goes, I mean, you guys don't really intentionally hide anything anyway. I mean, you're looked at as the open book, but it's because you like to have people understand you and know you. I mean, there is nothing to hide there. And you may be coming out now as far as your emotions, and maybe the truth here, or what's coming out, is that you don't want to continue to work on something because of this being here. But yet, I'm looking at this going, well, what? And the Emperor. Well, at least we didn't see the Ace of Wands this week. But we're still looking at the Eight of Cups. Good Christ. Okay, so if we're talking about everything coming out, you may be being more open at the fact that you're tired of continuing to work at something that's not going to give you what you want on an emotional level, especially if you're being disappointed by somebody. With the Chariot, wow, man, some of you guys are looking to move away from this quickly, but it's also about, getting control, right, over the opposing forces, how you're thinking, how you're feeling, but man, that's like, to me, it almost feels like this may be like a long distance thing for some of you, and it's just not giving you what you want. But, some of you may be like trying to bridge the distance, though, so to speak, but it's not like in a Six of Swords type of way. But again, getting like better control, and then you have the Emperor, you. It is about order and control. You taking a leadership position here and getting control over what is happening. I don't ever see you staying with something long that is not going to give you what you want, but we're still looking at the Eight of Cups and you being defensive and not wanting to let somebody in. I really do think that some of you are just done. You're done working at something that's not going to give you what you want. With the Chariot and the Queen of Swords, we could definitely be talking about somebody who is at a distance from you. But I don't know, I see control big time with this. And you getting back to a place where, you are who you are. I don't... It's going to be up to you to get control of this situation. And you're going to have to make a major choice, but the choice that you make has to be the right choice for you. Rather than being continuously disappointed by a person who is not going to give you what you need, especially emotionally, with the Five of Cups being there. And again, it doesn't have to be a relationship, but we're looking at the Lovers here. And then you hoping and fearing this Ten of Swords. Whew. But ultimately, it is about your own personal growth. And if that's not like super apparent here with the Sun and the Emperor, and I do think that with the Three of Pentacles, maybe your focus needs to be on something new, something where you're going to get what you need, something that you feel like you want to put your effort into instead of wasting your time. All right. For those of you who are single, right? I mean, of course, if you've been single a while, you're going to hear the advice. So stay optimistic, right? Now, the problem is that some of you may be dealing with a person who may be too focused on their career, or this is you. And it's like you can't find that, right person that can deal with what you're doing as far as your career. But I don't know, I feel like for some of you, it's just you're too focused. You're too focused right now and like not attracting the right person. But then again, for some of you, you may be dealing with an earth sign here. But they may be too focused on their career. Like I just see her being, not really attentive to the person that they're with, whether you're male or female. Now, as far as a relationship goes, attraction, needing to enjoy the moments, well, with the Nine of Pentacles, we're looking at, first of all, an obsession. But then we're also looking at a relationship here where this is secretive. One of the descriptions for this card is like the relationship that's like on the down low. You know, it may be that you are dealing with a person who is not wanting to be like out in the open, or you're not wanting to be out in the open about a relationship that you're in, but somebody's obsessed. And you're just being asked to enjoy the moment, you know? And it's not like it's a creepy type of thing, but, you know, somebody is definitely attached, possibly a little bit obsessed, wanting to have more. But like I said, somebody is wanting to keep this, you know, like not really wanting everybody to know about the fact that they may be in a relationship, whether that's you or the other person. You know, and it's one of those things where just enjoy it while it's there. But I don't like the bridge between this, you know. But I do think that you're going to have to make a major choice when it comes to a relationship for some of you. And like I said, you know, do you continue to feed into something that's not going to give you what you want? And I don't think that you are. With the Sun and the Emperor coming back, or coming through, it's like you're getting back to, you know, yourself and getting a better sense of who you are. Because, you know, with the Sun, it is about our sense of self and our direction. And then you have you with the Emperor and getting control. And then with the Chariot, you know, like I said, we could be talking about a person who is at a distance from you, or you're moving away from this person because of the disappointment and not getting what you need emotionally. All right, Aries. So, like I said, I think that this is the perfect response to dealing with people who are being shitty about the fact that you have good things going on in your life. It is about your continued growth, you know, and the growth of others. But if you're dealing with people who are just wanting to stay in that place of jealousy, then, you know, it's not your responsibility. It does talk about teaching by example, but that example could be you needing to move away from these types of people and, again, focus on your own growth. Now, as far as the reading, I hate it when the Five of Cups shows up for you guys, because to me that seems like it's a minor thing, but for you it's more of a pressing, like, serious issue. But, like, I don't think that this is something that you wanted to come back through. Because, like, seriously, I see you being defensive here and being disappointed possibly by a person, but, you know, not ready to give up the fight here, but then also not wanting to let them in. You know, and again, because we're looking at the Five of Cups, and I'm telling you, you know, if we're looking at a relationship here, you're looking at a difficult one at best. But yet, your advice here is the Lovers, coming from a place of love, but then, you know, also needing to make a major choice when it comes to this relationship. And I look at you fearing and hoping around the Ten of Swords, you know, either fearing a painful ending or hoping that things are going to end with not so much pain. Like, I don't see you intentionally wanting to hurt somebody, but, like, needing something to end, I think, more so for you, because you're looking at the difficult emotions. Now, with the Three of Pentacles coming out and then looking at the Sun, you know, it's really about having a better sense of self, a better sense of direction with the Sun. And then, of course, having everything out in the open. Like, Aries doesn't ever intentionally hide their intentions at all. I mean, you guys are like an open book, you know. There is nothing to hide, you know, especially when you're talking about relationships. But this to me is like you seeing now that your effort may need to be put in somewhere else because of looking at the Eight of Cups. And again, with the Chariot, like I said, you know, with the Chariot and you showing up, it is about control and order out of all of this chaos. But like with the Eight of Cups, that's why I feel like your focus needs to be somewhere else. Because I'm telling you, I think some of you are being disappointed by somebody, let down by them, especially in terms of a relationship. You know you're not going to get what you need from this, and you need to move on. And like with the Chariot, definitely you're doing it in a big way and getting, you know, a better sense of self. I mean, seriously. You know, and I love this combo for you coming out on this. But, you know, again, with the Chariot, we could be talking about somebody who is at a distance from you, or, you know, you literally picking up and moving the hell away from it. But I'm looking at the Lovers, and I'm thinking that when I talk about you needing to come from a place of love, if you're fearing the Ten of Swords, it's one of those things where, like, if you have to end a situation, then so be it, but do it from a place where, we're looking at your continued growth, right? But do it with a place of, like, love in your heart. I think that's the best way for me to put it. But to me, this looks like a major relationship that is difficult at best, and it's just not going to give you what you need. And your focus does need to be somewhere else. Now, as far as relationships go, I see this so much for singles, and it drives me nuts. Stay optimistic. Like, for all the singles out there, I just feel like I keep saying the same thing. Just stay optimistic. Now, it may be because you are looking to get involved with somebody who may be too focused on their career, or this is you. Again, you could be dealing with an earth sign, an air sign, with the king and queen showing up. But here with the Queen of Pentacles, this is more so about somebody who is more focused somewhere else and not paying a lot of attention to, the person that they're with. And it's almost like they're looking at it like, I really don't need this relationship, but yet you're being asked to stay optimistic about it. And it could just be that they're, like, temporarily focused on their career right now. But I don't know. And I hate that, stay optimistic. Now, for some of you, it may be that you need to stay optimistic because you may have this person coming through. And you may need to be careful about being too focused on your career and not letting a person come through. Now, for those of you who are in a relationship, attraction and the Nine of Pentacles, this to me is you just enjoying the moment and possibly not wanting people to know about a relationship. That, or you're dealing with somebody who's not wanting other people to know that you're in a relationship. But there is a level of obsession. But it's not, like, creepy to me with this card. I see that more so with, like, the Page of Swords with the Tarot Sexual Magic. This to me is somebody who wants to stay connected. Even though this may be like a relationship that's, but I don't see it as a cheating scenario. It's just somebody's not wanting to be out in the open about the fact that they're in a relationship with you, or this is you toward them, But with attraction, it's just basically saying enjoy those moments. Especially if you're wanting something more with somebody. Just enjoy what you have, worry about that crap later. But, like I said, Aries, whatever you're dealing with in terms of people, it seems like with the Five of Cups, you're just let down and disappointed by them right now. Now, if you're looking to end a relationship, I would say that you need to come from a place where you have compassion and understanding. But I still feel like it's more about, you not doing the Eight of Cups thing anymore. Right? Because you're not going to get what you need here. And I can totally understand why you're disappointed. But, like, I see you focused on you. Focused on you, your career, right? Getting back to a better sense of self, And that's probably more important right now than continuing to try to work at, a partnership that you're not going to get what you need from.